Once was somebody named Keka, and Keka was somebody who that's like me. There's a name there, but I'm using like redacted. I'm cutting that out with an X-Acto knife from the page of the script. So you just have to try to figure out who I might be talking about when I'm talking about the person named. Okay, so this person is somebody that not known to the general population. This person is someone who is not necessarily on the internet, but has a website. This person has an email address. This person is not knowing what particular state he's in, but somewhere in... no, we're not going to give a location because we don't want to... I think they should actually tell you. The person lives in... No, they really not... Who? It's like the people who are wording this for me are in search of... No, it's not one of those noises that I was making about names. No, it is a message for those of you who are interested in who is the best visionary on planet Earth. In other words, who is the best astral traveler? Who is the Spider-Man of this astral traveling, visioning, seeing, being awake in the dream thing? Well, I'll tell you one person who it isn't. Me. I do not astral travel. I don't. And I've heard this before, and I've heard of Monroe Institute, and I've read articles over the years about this, but I don't do it. And it's not me volunteering to go or not volunteering to go. It's just simply, there's no option. When I just simply sit here and watch what happens, when I go to sleep, I do sometimes feel like I'm really living in a different dream world, but do I call that astral traveling? No, astral traveling is like when your energy body, which is located inside of your physical body, there's an energy body of you, and the energy body is supposed to leave your physical body, so like go whoop, and then it goes whoo, and it might go to another star system somewhere else. And there's a long silver cord. This is the long-known silver cord theory that I believe goes back probably to ancient Greece. And it was basically you go there, and then when you're ready to come back to your physical body, or something happens at your physical body's end that signals for you to come back, or some other combination, you end up back inside your physical body here on planet Earth, and you go about doing your business, but you had the feeling that you were consciously awake when you left the body. Although maybe some people have a dream and they exit and astral travel through the dream. But then, I still don't feel like I astral travel. No, because the world that I experience when I'm in this particular body and, this particular world that looks like planet Earth, a park, this is where I am. And I'm never in another world having meetings with the Arcturian Council or Colonel Gonzalez and Corey Good. No, I never have weird things like that. No, I've never astral traveled from where I am in Canada to Mexico City. No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. The only thing that I will relive is memories of when I have physically gone to some place, or I've seen pictures of a place on a video. So no, it's not the same thing as what I'm describing as an astral travel, where your physical body is here, you're either awake or asleep, and your consciousness leaves this physical form and bolts in some other direction and goes to some other destination, have some adventures there, and at the same time, you're still part of this, so you still got to come back to this, or you have, I don't know, like, does the body die if the astral traveler leaves, or somebody snips the cord and then that spirit goes that way? Or is the astral body created by the physical body? And if the physical body dies, then the astral body dies too, which means you die, and that's the end of your existence. That's sometimes a preferable choice, non-existence, to the suffering caused by someone who was tortured. Incessantly tortured by, for example, pain, chronic pain, that even with the best management available on planet Earth, doesn't go away. So chronic pain that outside of you being totally like anesthetized 24/7. Anyway, that's the whole idea. Okay, so we're going to go and summarize here. Okay, so summarizing what we want to talk about with regard to things like astral traveling is, my personal feeling is that I don't do it. I have other odd things happen to me, sometimes even in this Earth reality, things that are not Earth normal. I know what's normal, and I know what's really weird. This is hinky. This is like real magic is being used here. Something is really weird. This is like something out of a Stephen King novel. I've experienced these kind of things. But when they're not going on, then it's normal. Like, it's totally normal here in this city where I am right now today. There's cars going by, there's somebody going for a walk, there's me talking on my video phone, and there's no weird vibes going on here. I have ongoing weird vibes, though, that are pretty much all day long, and I've talked to you before on this channel about when some of these spirits that perhaps are associated with this body, when they say when they pin me to the mat, and not me, the voice that you're talking to now, I'm the voice called Uncle, but the person that's in here, the silent witness. So it's really the silent witness that we should be concerned about, because the silent witness is you, the one who is listening inside of your physical body suit, this meat body thing that you were born into. So we're continuing to summarize. So we were saying that we were concerned about the silent witness within each human, and by extension, each animal, each plant, each stone. Some of you people are going to stop me and say, at the point of beyond plants and perhaps bacteria, stones don't have consciousness at all. And then the woo-woo people and the crystal people will all go, oh yes, our crystals are like intelligent. They know so much about ancient history. I learned it at it was the herbology course at Sussex in the United Kingdom. I took it in 1983. My professor had actually put eyes in front of his eyes, and he really surprised Aleister Crowley, the great magician, the great face. Don't screw with the United Kingdom when it comes to magic and herbology and Hogwarts and things. Because we know more than you. And even Voldemort was a Brit. Okay, so thank you for that little funny. And to continue our talk about astral travel and weird things, like, normal was especially normal when I was young. When I was a child, normal was normal. It was just the way things were. For vast periods of time when I was a child, it was like, this is the way it is. And, normal. So when abnormal things happen in our reality, it does prompt us to, some of us get intensely scared. And that's all we have is horrible, horrible, horrible vibration of scared, fear, terror, pure terror. Pure terror is definitely a vibration, and pure terror, I have felt pure terror, and there's nothing you can do, there's nowhere you can hide, because you experience pure terror within you, what you consider what is your you. So what do you want to do when you feel pure terror? It's simply witnessing pure terror and feeling pure terror in the body. And it's the body experience of what the body feels when terror is here that adds to the experience that the mind gets. And your mind sensation, putting it all together, is one of those instances when you would prefer non-existence. Pure terror for extended period of time. I think I probably had probably like 12 hours easy of straight pure terror by what I was calling psychic attack. And I'm sure there's many times when people, if you would have given them a button that says extinguish yourself with the chance of not having to experience any more of this terror feeling, people would push the button continuously. It would be just natural, because you had had enough of terror the instant you felt it. Or maybe it took a little while for it to cut through your veneer of rationality, because your reality has changed. So it's not the normal reality at all, it's a nightmare. Someone wants me to say, don't focus so much on the nightmares, focus on what it would be like to be an Olympic athlete playing at their best during the Olympics. This would be a much preferable state of consciousness to the terror state of consciousness. To get these beautiful feelings, rich with love. What kind of love is this? Would be a higher love. This would be love for just love for being here, to be alive and have this experience makes it all worthwhile. It is such a wonderful thing. So there you have got the two poles on this duality. Absolutely beautiful experiences, all the way down to the experience of terror. And you have a scale between those two things, and that is a dipole. Two poles, and they're related because you put them together to see if they are related and what that would look like. No, I mean, you could try that, and it would probably give you some very creative things to do. But in this particular case, we're simply saying what is preferable to a normal human being. And what is preferable to a normal human being is the end of the horrible, horrible. The experience of unpleasant, doesn't make me feel good, makes me want to puke, and the endless blame game that goes, well, you created your own reality, so you made this experience, and now you must suffer forever because you made so many other people feel this way. You've got to feel this feeling too, so you'll never do it again, kind of thing. But, that might work once, but when you had it 200 times, the point is, there's no logic to this ongoing horrible, horrible. So why, the lesson is over. Now, what's the point of this? This is a new torture experiment. So what's the point of the new torture experiment? It's simply we're still traveling in the direction of we're the Voldemorts of the world, and we're always going to be Voldemort. A scorpion is always a scorpion. These things, those are the characteristics of a scorpion. It has a stinger that it can use to sting you. And whatever, there's no scorpions here where I live, so I haven't had the experience of, being one-on-one with a scorpion to see if it would make a pet. But there are some people on this planet who love insects so much that they just love to have them as their pets. And snakes. In any event, I don't know how I got talking about this, because we were talking about the two poles, what's preferable and what's not preferable. And I suppose then you could say what you feel you would get from a benevolent God that was in charge of seeing you as an inner child that is so hopelessly lost because it's been led around by a mind that has been possessed by thought forms and schemes that, the inner silent witness never chose anything. It was all done by the mind. The mind cooked up the whole thing for the silent witness, the awareness of everything, to experience. And time and again it's been said, mind, you are keep creating these horrible experiences that our silent witness, our awareness here and awareness of the body must experience, but it is not doing anything. It is silent, it is a witness, it does not have a volition. It simply is forced to watch and feel. It is forced to, it has no off button. So we complain that in this particular reality, that's not fair. You have enslaved this awareness and you are giving it a steady stream of horrible experiences. So we're asking the benign, benevolent of this reality that we are experiencing to step in and correct this problem for us. And we want it already known that we will not accept any other thing than free in our mind, like Bob Marley meant. The musician, the reggae musician. Now our friend Oberman be here and he'll be telling us a lot of time down in the old days there were stories that were told at docks and things. And the stories were from pretty much people who weren't from Jamaica, and they brought with them all their drama. All about the empire, India, but we did learn about other peoples through this particular thing. Who are we? We were the ones who were slaughtered and our bloodlines were extinguished. But, we had a relationship with that island of Jamaica. So ancestral spirits that might have lived in the 1700s are still around, and they still remember their last physical lifetime. And some of these old grudges that are held from all times are still influencing us today, according to some sources. These things could be considered negative vortexes in our etheric. And what you would want to do with these negative vortexes is make them how are you actually going to make them disappear? Are you going to be like Samantha on Bewitched and make your nose go, or be like Merlin in the TV show Merlin, and have your eyes flash kind of golden bronze and magic happens? Or are you going to be a regular, normal human being and perhaps consult somebody who's an expert in vortexes and coming to understand of what else is involved, and perhaps what you just simply need to do instead of trying to make it disappear is just reverse the flow of the vortex. Like if it's going counterclockwise, then apply a force that's clockwise. Well, this was also kind of one of the things that Donald Trump was called an idiot for, the idea that you could use nuclear bombs to take out hurricanes. No one wants to tell you. We're confused as whether to explain this one in words, or would you have got that? I mean, is that such an obvious joke that you would have got it? Because we could tell you more jokes, but sometimes we get the feeling that, some of the terms and some of the things need to be explained, because I've got certain people that know me that quite often don't get my humor. Some other people, I think, get my humor. Some people get it some days and not other days. Some people never heard of me, and some people... Okay, so anyway, the idea of dropping a bomb, a nuclear bomb, you see it like a hurricane in the middle of the Atlantic, crossing over from the Sahara Desert in Africa. And the idea is we are going to disintegrate the hurricane. And how is that going to happen? Well, the bomb will go off, and everything that's within the bomb radius will be vaporized. Or turned into a hot plasma. But the point of the matter is, what about the fallout? Because nuclear bombs leave nuclear fallout. So it's not disintegrating that piece of space and turning that space into nothing. That's what a Harry Potter could do. Harry Potter could simply turn that space where the hurricane is into a nothing. And at the exact same time, simultaneously replace that patch of atmosphere, and I suppose things flying through that atmosphere in that space, and replace it with a perfectly normal space that easily fits in with the events leading up to this particular hurricane. The devil is always in the details, always at the edges of your magic. It's like, that's a nice speech on how Harry Potter would do it. But as I'm looking at it, and my friends are looking at it, we're saying, Mr. Potter, you're making huge assumptions. And certainly we would never recommend using any kind of nuclear bomb on a Earth hurricane. It will not work, and it will create incredible radioactive damage wherever that storm goes after the bomb goes off. It is only an idiot who would propose such a thing. Someone who is clearly ignorant on the physics of it all. And, well, it just depends, because if this person happens to be the president of the United States, and he really means this, then he is incompetent for office. He doesn't understand basic physics that's taught in high schools all over. So the whole point is, these kind of things, these remarks that come out, you first want to say, okay, is he telling it a joke? Is the context text that he's telling it the same as mine, and they've just clipped that little piece that I said about drop a nuclear bomb on a hurricane, and then they've made a story that's completely wrong because they wanted to smear me or something. But they took that voice segment out of context, and then they put their own context that was incorrect. in as a replacement. So you're never going to get anybody who's going to say, at our level of rational, trying to cut this up, analyze this, we don't think this is going to be successful. But if Moses could part the Red Sea, and it was Moses that showed up, how would you know it was the same Moses? Well, you knew, because you're in the Club of Magic, and Moses is a known thing. Moses shows up and says, just like I parted the Red Sea, we're going to do this, get rid of the hurricane in the Atlantic. You will not worry, because it's Moses. And, Moses has already got his story that backs up that it was done perfectly. Now someone wants to question whether Moses' story in the Bible could be questioned. And of course, this is a bit of an academic problem that you could study when you're at Hogwarts about, where should you make the edge of your magic work? And perhaps the best idea is to say either I have no magic, or the magic that I have is not in my control, and I am a squib. And they had a squib who was the janitor at Hogwarts. He knew magic could be done because he saw it all the time. But he was not a magic person. He didn't do magic. He, pushed a broom to clean the floor. He was a squib. Is it safe to be a squib, or is it better to be a magic person? I think you are what you are. Somebody doesn't think that's a good answer. So we're going to say, fortune favors the bold. If all else fails, you can either try again, or you can go and do that one thing that you thought was going to fail, but you didn't try it because you already knew it wasn't going to work. Somebody suggested something to you, immediately you shot it down. You say, you fucking idiot. Get the fuck out of my courtroom. I'm going to send a posse. We're going to hunt you down and shoot you. And then we're going to hang you and cut you in quarters. You hated this person so much that whatever story they brought to you, you immediately dismissed as a lie without even considering it. Anyway, go back and look for those things, because maybe it was a huge setup as part of the game to wake you up to the fact that you don't know. But, the storyteller might give you a hint that you might get a hell of a yarn and a hell of a lesson out of leading to all of this. So in summary, my name is, I don't have a name right now. And, is this practical magic lesson? Yeah, I would tag this one as a practical magic, and I have a number of these kind of videos about magic. So you could use that hashtag, practical magic. And to summarize it all up, we want to credit Brant and Clancy and Sipping Up as the stars of tonight's show, including myself, Uncle, and co-starring Rumpelstiltskin and the rest of the... we have a name for them. It came from Mad Magazine. Mad Magazine said that in addition to the regular people that were named, they also put in the usual cast of idiots. So, cast of idiots is like if you're not named, then you're a part of the cast of idiots, and it includes everybody. Thank you for watching. I'm Bob Frizzell for The Reality Game.